temperature for up to 16 hours a day. That's why the way they are kept should above all allow movement. Keeping a horse in a box all day is practical because it is always available, easy to feed, and usually clean, but it is cruel to animals. This is why classic stall keeping must guarantee sufficient access to the paddock with the opportunity for social contact with buddies. If a horse has too little exercise, boredom is quickly reflected in bad habits such as bucking and weaving. When bucking, the animal sets its teeth on a horizontal object, tenses its lower neck muscles, and draws air into the gullet, producing a belching sound. Weaving is characterized by the animal swinging from one front leg to the other and spreading their legs apart. In most cases, the head is also swiveled or stretched upwards. Neither behavioral disorder is physically harmful, but they show us that they are under psychological stress. To make stabling as comfortable as possible, it is advisable to adapt the stall to the needs of the horse. With as much light, air, and room to move as possible, ideally even an adjoining paddock, the stall will be more species appropriate. Above all, the size of the box should be appropriate for the horse's body size. Horses feel most comfortable in a loose or open stable. They can get enough exercise and, above all, have contact with their fellow horses. The feeding. In addition to sufficient exercise, a balanced diet is also part of species-appropriate husbandry. This does not mean that only the most expensive or the most exquisite food is best. With the right knowledge about the horse's physique, requirements, and digestion, you have a good basis for putting together the right feed for your horse. For horses with health problems or sport horses, it is advisable to seek professional advice. Straw, hay, silage, green fodder preserved by fermentation, or grass form the basis of a balanced diet. They provide fiber, which removes harmful substances from the digestive system, generally supports it, and cleanses the intestines. A horse should receive approximately 1.5 kilograms of roughage per 100 kilograms of weight per day. For a 700 kilogram animal, for example, this would be 10.5 kilograms of hay, grass, etc. per day. In addition to roughage, concentrated feed can be fed depending on how much a horse is in training. If the horse does not get enough energy from the roughage, it can be supplemented with various mucilus or pellets. These contain a lot of grain, oil, vitamins, minerals, and trace elements such as selenium or zinc. Sports horses are usually also given oats. For decades, it has been the energy supplier that everyone counts on, and horses love it. Oils such as those obtained from linseed can support a horse's stamina. Racehorses are usually given additional mineral feed that contains a lot of iron, selenium, and copper to ensure that they are adequately supported in their supply of nutrients. For mares that are suckling their foals, there is special compound feed that is rich in protein to provide them with sufficient nutrients. When foals are weaned from their mother's milk, they also need more protein, which must be fed to them. Bread, carrots, apples, bananas, and the like can add variety to the diet. But caution is advised. The sugar and yeast in bread are harmful in excess, which is why everything should only be fed in small quantities. The horse's stomach is small. It is therefore important to ensure that everything is fed in small quantities regularly throughout the day and not all at once. It is ideal if horses can graze in a paddock during the day so that a large part of the roughage is already covered in addition to the concentrated feed. Health, the be-all and end-all. You have to take great responsibility for horses, especially when it comes to the health of the four-legged friends. Everyday grooming in particular helps to keep them healthy. The horse is not only groomed, but also checked for ticks, small wounds, or areas that are too warm. This can prevent serious diseases that can be transmitted by ticks, for example. Especially after a horse has been in the paddock or walked through tall grass, it should be thoroughly checked for ticks. If you notice an open wound during grooming, clean it carefully beforehand. An antiseptic, disinfectant ointment, such as iodine ointment, can then be applied. If warm spots are noticed, they should definitely be observed. If the area swells, for example, this may be a sign of tendon damage. A vet should definitely examine the area. Many owners are afraid of overlooking possible symptoms and not taking appropriate action in time. It is therefore important to be informed about the most common symptoms, their consequences, and treatment. Poisonous plants. To avoid poisoning, it is important to check the paddock regularly. Plants that are harmful to horses can always grow there. These include aconite and